Welcome back to the Critical Fail podcast and video series. This is Jeff Morgan, the DM. We recorded ourselves playing Dungeons & Dragons and we send it your way, and hopefully you guys find it as enjoyable to listen to as we do playing it. It's part of a greater network that we're building here with gaming content and other nerdy stuff. I am working on a Witcher short film currently. We'll have updates on all this stuff as it develops. Hopefully it's going to be growing and we're going to continue to add new and interesting things for you guys to enjoy. This episode, the video recording, was just not there. It's part of our learning curve with OBS. I went to check on it later and the video was gone. But our audio backup was great. The rest of the session was awesome, but we just had this little snafu for about a little bit over an hour where the video wasn't there. So you will be listening to the audio-only version of this. After that, the next 9 episodes were perfectly recorded and have audio, video, and everything is great. But this extra long episode will hopefully make up for that a little bit. After this, it's back to normal. Audio podcast listeners will notice no change at all. We, of course, just released this on iTunes and RSS feed as podcasts, and yeah, there's no video on those. So there you go. To learn more and to support us, please check out criticalfail.com. It's critical, the L is a 1, fail.com, and all one word. This episode is brought to you by Matt's Mats. These are products that we make, and they directly support us, and they are super freaking awesome if you play any sort of role-playing system that uses like a 1-inch square system. They're these acrylic mats that are etched with a grid on them, and you can use dry erase markers on them, and they work super well. Please check out our website, criticalfail.com, critical with a 1 for the L, and you can learn more. So without any further ado, here is episode 9, Fun with Charisma Checks. So, welcome back to Critical Fail. This is the game session number 2. The podcast is now on iTunes and available if you want to find it and subscribe. Critical Fail, critical with a 1. And we are kind of getting up to speed, getting everything running smoothly, but it's coming together well. It's not an easy process getting all that put together, but it's totally fun. And yeah, we look forward to keep bringing this to you guys as long as possible. So, again, my name is Jeff. I'm the Dungeon Master, and I'm ready to come in here and try and murder these guys viciously. Jake, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm playing the Bard. I think it was very underutilized in the previous versions, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far and some of the changes that it's got. It seems a lot less squishy.
The Bard, Ufret.
You haven't died yet, which is...
Yet.
No.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And your mortal enemy is Dietrich.
Oh, Dietrich,
I saw that written down.
First.
And Matt?
Yeah, I'm Matt. I am playing a now level 2 mountain dwarf paladin, Thordan. I am a good guy.
The end.
The end.
I like it. And Nick?
I am playing the human ranger Liam Ghostfist, who likes to kill people.
People who sometimes I wonder if they deserve it.
Liam Ghostsmith, murder and sandwiches.
Right.
Hey, man.
Free sandwiches.
Free sandwiches.
I do love me a good...
He earned that sandwich.
I ended the fight.
I told him the sandwich predicated on the protection of my beer, and what did he do? He came outside and killed somebody.
He left the beer alone.
So,
Well, you know.
At least it was still in the bar when I got back.
Exactly. All right, guys. With us online, in case we haven't given him enough credit, is Bassmaster X71, our favorite fan. All right.
He likes podcasts and YouTubes, which we have a podcast going, as you just mentioned. And there's a YouTube channel, which we're editing the first session and are slowly putting it on.
Yep. And we're going to try...
of Jeff Morgan.
All right, guys. So, you guys, last time we talked, you guys were literally standing on the shore, having just shot a light arrow into a demon who was holding the little acolyte boy, and you saved him, and I think that's right where we left you. So we did do a lot of experience points without worrying about arrest or anything, because we broke the session, which is great. And so I will have you guys literally standing right there. I don't know if any of you have taken damage. I cannot recall.
I had myself marked back up to full.
Because you got healed by
because we got healed. But
yeah, we all got healed when we stopped into the...
I didn't take any damage.
Nobody took damage from the demon.
So
I haven't taken any damage at all.
fantastic, Bassmaster. Thank you. We like fans. We don't have a lot. So, just to mention to the players, I did just read. Check your hit points at higher level, or your hit dice, because I get 1d10 per paladin level. Since I'm level 2, I actually get 2d10 now for hit dice. Which
Really?
is, yeah.
What?
But no, that's just when you heal yourself.
Okay.
Oh, healing. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, I was like,
It's not damage. It's for healing stuff.
oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep.
So there you guys are, standing there. It's okay. I'll paint the scene for you too. You're standing now at the south side of town, where that intersection of the two bridges that come across the river comes onto this like island, basically that makes up the town. There's a warehouse up to the northeast of you. The roads lead up into town. You're fairly near the mage and religion quarter, and you just evaporated this smoke demon, shadow demon standing over the water. And I will say to you, Thornton, you would know that that was a demon, and that's a big deal.
Okay.
These are things that come from way the hell down below ground and are not seen on this plane of existence. This is something that came across planes of existence to be here. So that would just, Theology 101, you would be like,
This should not have been here.
yeah, this is like, the ghouls that you guys fought and things like that.
Oh,
Okay,
this-
fine, whatever. But that thing is a bigger player than you guys made it out to be when you immediately killed it with its one weakness. so that's
Jake
that.
immediately killed it.
Jake immediately killed that.
Smart enough to throw his own lit arrow.
Exactly. That he left there for like.
Technically speaking,
Hey, I
it was
wouldn't have
my
been able
arrow.
to do it without. It was his arrow. That's true.
So
And without you noticing that difference, then I wouldn't have been able to do it.
So there you guys are standing there on the river. What do? You guys are actually healed up, so it's good. You don't know any spells because you haven't rested and you just got them.
Okay. Yep.
So there may be a rest there. I will remind you that the mayor's bodyguard brought you down here and dropped you off and went away.
That house from him.
What was that?
He gave us that.
Yep, you guys
house
are staying in
for-
that house from them. So you could report back to the mayor. You could follow. There was a trail of necrotic energy coming from upriver on the eastern river. Do you recall that? Like how
Yep.
it was coming?
Yeah.
Yep. And you could talk to your new friend, your fellow believers in Ula, and who is back, I guess, experimenting on a ghoul as we speak.
I really feel like it may be worthwhile to go back there, considering how much more difficult it was to fight this stuff at night.
Right.
I think
Go back to the priest.
go back to the priest, see how he's doing, and then I even propose going back to our room and sleeping for the night.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, but I want to make sure that we know which direction that evil whatnot is coming from. So we've got some idea where we need to look tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, I can cast Divine Sense one more time today.
I would go ahead and do that. And also, Thornton and Urith, why don't you guys cast, I don't know what it's called in this edition, your magic knowledge. What's it called?
Knowledge, Arcana.
Yeah, Arcana?
Oh, you want me to cast Arcana?
Yep. Or no, I'm sorry, check Arcana. Do an Arcana check right now.
Arcana is intellect.
I
and
don't have
intelligence.
that one trained, but I did just get the Jack of all trades, so I can use half of my proficiency bonus towards it.
Okay. I rolled a 12.
And what's your,
I rolled a 13 and it's -1.
oh, okay.
I'm not as intelligent as I may be.
I thought on the skill checks, you don't actually. Do you use your modifier?
Yeah.
On the skill check.
Yep. The only thing you get by being proficient is you get your proficiency bonus on top of your
Go ahead, Jake.
standard bonus.
Okay.
Okay, so I rolled a 19 plus
Okay.
3, so I'm at 22.
All right.
What do we have here, Jake?
Or 21.
Well, no. Now you go ahead and do your check. You were going to do divine sense one more
Yeah,
time,
it
right?
doesn't. It's just something I can do.
Okay,
I get
cool.
3 per day.
Okay, so again, you sense the same thing as before, that there is almost like oil or a stench in the water is slightly emanating from upstream. Now it's spattered all around this area from the battles that you guys have had this day. You still feel where the ghouls died earlier. You actually vaguely sense it from where you guys dragged that one off down the street and over to the religious district.
So
And
we're Okay.
And up to the northeast, in the river, almost like a yeah, exactly, almost like a blood in the water. It's coming up from that direction.
Okay.
Do you relay that to everybody?
Yeah. I definitely feel it. Does it feel past this religious district here? Like, does it feel a ways up?
You would have to
Or
go
just
walking.
this
You'd
direction?
have to go walking because I don't think your sense is that far.
Okay. Well, let me look it up. Just because I'm curious.
And Jake, what you, Ruth, what you kind of remember or intuit as far as from the Arcana check is that this will still be around in the morning. You know what I mean? Because you guys were trying to decide whether or not to rest, and this taint will probably not evaporate or dissipate in the next, while you're sleeping. So you don't have any fear of losing that trail.
Okay. This reminds me of a friend of mine named Bob Tanglefoot. And his stench of his feet would last for quite some time. So I think we're going to be good for this one for tomorrow.
Okay. I do have 60 feet of sensing.
Jake, take an extra inspiration right there.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. New favorite. 60. Yes, it's just too far. It's too far, Thornton, to tell how. It's definitely coming 60 feet upriver.
More than 60 feet.
More than 60 feet upriver.
Definitely upriver.
So you want to head back to the religious?
I think we should stop at the religious center on our way back to our nice little sleepy home.
Fantastic. Also, you could take the eastern road along the river up to your home after you talk to them, which would let you kind of
Follow the river.
Yeah, continue to sense where that's coming from if you want.
All right.
So first, you guys go back to the
Up in here.
Yes, exactly, to the religious district where this is a. Basically, almost like a cramped market where each religion is denominated out and has a little space, and you had run to the Ula stall effectively and ran back there.
The corner of Ula.
Corner of Ula, 5 and dime, and you run back there, and the ghoul has since expired from whatever it is that the fine priest of Ula has been doing to it. But he's making notes feverishly in his book, and he's got ichor kind of splattered all over him, like he's been having some fun. And
is there like a set of tools off to the side that need cleaning?
Yeah.
Is the little acolyte boy cleaning them?
No, the acolyte boy.
Did he go home?
Is
he
no. He's this is his home, but he's sitting over to the side, looking very traumatized and ignored, like he's patiently waiting for some sort of comfort from his near-death experience that you guys fed him to. So.
Well, I really feel like the bard might be best for the comfort job.
So you look over at him and give him a nod.
Make sure here. Okay, so I am very curious to the leader here if he's learned anything.
Okay.
From his divine experience.
His experiencing? That's a good question. Let's see what I can do here. Yeah, what he will do is he says that he tested out a series of standard kind of practices on things that will hurt ghouls, and as well as a few other things that he has always been curious about. And his results are written out in the wonderful 5th edition Monsters Manual.
Yeah, by the way, this is all 5th edition, in case we didn't say that.
Exactly.
Bassmaster.
So he kind of recaps for you. He says, my son, of course, the ghoul is a devourer of the dead flesh. It is found in places of, murder and mayhem have occurred, and it arises. It is more than just a brainless zombie. It is a seeker of things that have died. This one seemed to be extremely tormented prior to you guys destroying it, almost as though it had been psionically or spiritually tortured. It says that nothing else was learned from it except for shortly before it expired, I sensed a tie to a deeper plane, almost as though a puppet master from a long ways away, from a deep and dark evil plane, had tied a thread around the brain of this poor creature and drove it to do what it was doing. Said that's highly unusual.
Do you feel like this faraway creature may have known what you were doing? Torturing it?
I certainly hope so. That's what he says.
Fair enough. Did you notice it have any particular weaknesses or anything that really didn't dislike about what you were doing? Or it really did dislike?
Totally. Dude. Totally closed my book.
Once you get to the page,
I know.
all
Should I just
will
stay
be
there?
revealed.
I thought you were going to ask me
You
questions.
should have known. I feel like we're going to fight more of these.
Damn it.
He said that he tested its immunities to poison and charming it, which didn't work. He could not test its immunity to exhaustion, though they have been known to be tireless, and it was still putting up quite a fight against, despite being basically dead when you guys brought it in. He did poison it with several herbs and berries and things from the area that are known to be quite damaging and seemed to have no effect. He also fed it the blood of a dead man, which did not affect it as it does other undead. And it did not like silver, though it did not immediately burst into flames from it or anything like that. Holy water had no effect. But he was not able to try a barrage of spells such as turn undead or anything like that to see what happened.
Okay. We've learned that you can kill it with a knife.
Yep.
Right.
If you stab it enough.
If you stab it enough times.
Yep. Which is a good rule of thumb for anything in the universe.
Fantastic. You guys all set?
So you hear a small whimpering from the boy in the corner.
Are you not taking care of him?
Wait, what?
The acolyte is over in the corner, still weeping softly from his experience over the river.
I pat him on the shoulder. There. Okay, we're good to go.
Make a charisma check, Jane. Yeah, he just starts weeping more and more. What'd you roll?
5.
Yeah, he's
4 is 8, 9.
He's like, I miss my parents, and now I lost this, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Ula hates me, and you guys.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah, okay, and he just his whining, crying voice fades off into the distance. Though probably at this time the holy man of Ula has finally noticed that his acolyte is sad.
And I really feel like the kid should have a little faith in his religion. So I'm good leaving.
Yeah, okay, good. It's a test.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love.
Yeah, so let's take this river back along the way.
So you're taking the eastern road in Agrados, doing your divine sense kind of long, or you can only cast it so many times.
I can only cast it so many times, but I believe it has a duration.
And it's fine.
It just says until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so it's not super long, but you guys are heroes, and that's totally fine. You're sensing the area. So as you make your way along the eastern side of town, it's basically warehouses for the first stretch, and then as you go north, it turns into kind of like lean-to shanty kind of places where the visiting fishermen and boats and stuff will take up residence, as they're coming through town. And then you go farther north, and there's a park and kind of like a recreation area, an official place for carnivals and events that the town may have throughout the year. And as you're going through all of this stuff, it's late, nighttime, but you can see fairly well. You have night vision?
I have dark vision, yeah.
You do not have dark vision. Jake, what race are you again?
Human.
Yeah. So you guys are still able to see, in the pools of light that pour up from the various buildings, but you can see particularly well with your dark vision, and you are able to definitely just still sense this kind of very faint but very tangible evil or disruption or foulness that's coming down the river, and it persists as far as you will walk along the river.
Okay.
All the way up the mountain.
Well,
all the way up.
At least 60 feet north.
So, yeah, it's more than 60 feet away from any road we've taken back to our little house.
Correct.
Yeah. Are we back to our house now?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You're back at your house. You can rest. You can now have your spells prepared or whatever you need to do at your wonderful second level badasseries. Would you guys like to discuss what your plan is for the next day, or do you already know?
I'd like to take a stop in the merchants district first, see if we can find anything silver that we might be able to help us with.
Sure, you can procure whatever you want. You're just looking for some silver pendant or knife or whatever.
Does it cost?
More silver arrows if I can.
Oh, silver arrows.
Yeah, or silver-tipped arrows at least.
You're able to find someone who is selling 10 of them, and they will cost 5 gold pieces more than the normal price for 10 arrows.
What is the normal price for an arrow?
I don't even see it.
It's an
arrows. You get 20 for one gold piece.
So he will sell you
20 for 6?
10 for 6.
10 for 6. Okay, I will take that. Well,
20 for
let me
6?
see if I could persuade him down, because these aren't exactly the best at quality.
For sure.
Just persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the What's the is there a counter to it or a save?
I guess it would be.
Bassmaster.
I think it would be against their persuasion check.
Okay, got it. So go ahead and would you make a check? What did you roll?
18 plus a heck of a lot more. So
Yeah. Okay, so you're very persuasive, and he
Plus
decides to that that 2 gold pieces for 20.
Okay.
He pulls out
That's-
more than he said he had out of the bag, and
Okay.
you get a
that
much
sounds,
better deal.
Much more appropriate.
Ufret, would you mind picking me up some arrows as well while you are obviously better at this than I am with the talking to people?
Let me see if he's got any more of these.
That's all he's got.
That's all he's got. That's fine then, I guess. It'll
For
have
2
to do.
gold pieces, you could have 10. That's a very persuasive bard here.
He could persuade. He
Right.
might even persuade you that it was your idea.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you give him any arrows, Urith?
Yeah, I'll give him half.
So you've got 10. You each have 10 silver arrows.
Okay.
What are you guys doing? What's your plan?
So I'm back to having 3 divine sense,
You've got your spells memorized. You're all rested up.
Yeah.
You're full hit points.
cure wounds, and compel duel. So we know the river goes north.
North into the hills, into the
And there's
Skyreach
a-
Mountains.
There's a path going east into the mountains.
Yep.
So
Does anybody know if there's any giants up that road? Is there someone we can talk to in town that may know more about that?
Make a charisma check.
Charisma check.
I think you're very charismatic, if I remember right.
Oh, I'm not at all. That's half the fun of this. 8.
Fuck off is the answer you get.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Well, what I say, and as long as you're cool with my duration of divine sense,
Yeah.
why don't we just, since we sensed it pretty much the same all the way up, and I assume even up into here, nothing really felt any different. Let's take this road out of town to the east. I'll have my divine sense up and going.
Okay.
And I want to see if I notice it change direction or anything, because it's almost purely east, and we went pretty well north before.
Yep. So you pretty much get 60 feet away from that bridge and you lose it. The foulness is definitely in the river.
Okay.
And you don't feel it on the path.
Do we know anything
You can walk
about
along
the path? Does it hook back up with the river at any point? Can we ask somebody in town?
Sure. Boy, I wonder if the DM even knows that. Yeah, this path and this river both go up into the foothills of the Skyreach Mountains and then reach up, and in the distance you can see the craggy peaks of the mountains reaching up into the clouds. Like they disappear way, thousands of feet above the ground.
Okay.
And both the river and the path intersect once in a while, but the path will kind of go up and go through a tunnel and disappear for a bit and come back out. The river will actually go underground into underground caverns and come back out, or be waterfalls. So, so you're talking probably about every 5-6 miles they may cross again, and so they may cross a couple times in a day's walk. And you guys are sturdy folk. You can either follow the river and just kind of absolutely hike it up, or you can kind of take the road more traveled, literally, and do that. There aren't There aren't any boats that come down this side of town because, not too far up north is basically rapids and waterfalls and the like. So there's maybe a few farmers living up on the river this side, but that's it. That's what you find.
Okay.
See, I didn't even make him make a charisma check. He just found all this stuff out.
That's fine.
That's because I asked the right questions.
Yeah.
And I have a +2 to charisma naturally.
And he's my new favorite.
Right. 1 experience point. All right, so my proposition is let's follow the road up. And then next time we kind of peek over the river, see how things feel.
Sure.
And if it's gone or not, if it's gone, we'll follow the river back down the mountain, because I feel like that might be easier than going up the mountain.
Does that feel good to everybody?
I would agree.
What kind of mountains are these?
What are my options? These are like
Are they like rolling hills, trees, or are we climbing up Everest? Or
you are starting off rolling hills, trees, and probably a day in they start to turn into the Rocky Mountains, and then a day after that they're the Canadian Rocky Mountains.
Would you say there's
Canadian
any
Rocky
advantage to taking the path rather than the river, as far as speed or?
You'll go
ability?
faster, but you're on the river less. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? You'll be able to cover more ground if you feel that it's a long ways away that it's coming from.
Do you think that's worth a check to just go up the path when it gets across the river again? We'll check it again and see if it's there or gone.
Yeah, and then we can go downriver from there.
Hey man, if I have a tree
just
to sleep
making
in,
sure. Am I the only one with rope?
No, I have a rope too.
I should have a rope as well. I have the
Explorers, the Dungeoneering.
I have Explorer's pack.
Yeah, so then you have rope.
Okay.
Which I made sure to get my rope back after I scaled.
So you guys make your way up the northeastern road, and you are, you come back in the morning. So you are going against the flow of traffic. There are some farmers coming into town to sell their wares. Some children are, kind of like skipping around next to the wagons of their parents as they bring them in. There are some hooded, very shadowy-looking characters who avoid your glance, and it's just, the kind of melting pot of the D&D universe making their way in down from the mountains. No giants, though.
No giants.
No
Does
giants.
anyone-
No Leon.
Does anyone look especially traveled or, kind of more akin to
I would
being
s-
in the wilderness?
Oh, more to the wilderness? Yeah, sure. I mean, after a small amount of time, you would see somebody who maybe looks like they've got a small bedroll, and they look like they're living by what they can carry.
Okay. I'd like to ask them if they've noticed anything up the path out of the ordinary. Should I have any kind of check or no?
Yeah, make a charisma check.
All right. 22.
Your new best friend looks at you in the eyes and turns out to be that she's a half-elf hunter who she makes her living basically hunting small creatures up in the making you're like, stop hitting me. Hunting up in the hills, only what she can procure, and she's like kind of looking at you, right past her counterpart here, right at you, talking right into your dwarven eyes, and she describes that she ekes out a living in the greater 100-mile radius up here that she kind of calls her home. She says that there is nothing stranger than the normal. Of course, the guards keep us away from the mayor's hunting cabin. I do not venture into the place where the river runs underground. And she says, and I stay away from the giants towards the northern end of my region. Now she's interesting. Finally
right.
interesting to Liam. Let's see, what else does she say? She also offers to sell you furs at a discounted price. Or meat.
Why do you stay away from the place where the water goes into the mountain?
She says there be goblins in those caverns.
Fair enough.
Has she seen these giants that she's been avoiding?
She says she sees them from a distance, and that is close enough for her.
They look smaller from a
they-
distance.
yeah. She likes to sit up there and squish their heads from, and then make it get out of there. But no, she absolutely has seen a few different tribes of giants up there, but she has not engaged, and she knows well enough to stay away from these ones.
It's a mistake.
Staying away from them?
Kill all the
Kill
giants.
all the giants.
What are you thinking?
Is that what you say to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
Nice. She says, well, sir, she's like,
What kind of a hunter are you?
a smart and a live one. She says.
Big game. Only way to
She's
hunt.
got you there.
Says, well, then you, good, best of luck, good sir. With this one at your side, she gestures to Thornton. I'm sure you'll have better luck.
Oh, the goal is to bring down the whole party.
Well, I'm glad you're by my side. It's the last meal you get.
So yeah, and then if that's all you want to know from her, she will make her way to town unless you procured any.
Yeah, I don't feel it. It's a long ways before it's cold, right? I don't have to worry about cold.
Yeah, you're dressed for the weather. You're fine.
Okay.
And you probably, I don't know if you have rations in your pack or not. You probably have a few days of
do,
food and
yeah.
stuff. Do you ask her about, since you rolled so well on your charisma, do you ask her about intersections of the road and the river? And how often they are, or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah, okay. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, sure. What the heck? She says it's about it's a few hours because you're going uphill to the next intersection, and then about 10 miles past that. So probably like the rest of the day to get to the second intersection.
Winds back.
Yeah.
All right.
And and then she, and that's what she says.
Cool.
She'll also say she's seen, like I've said, she's seen nothing out of the ordinary. No dude dumping toxic waste into the river. Clearly out of order.
No outhouses hanging over the river.
Oh, yeah. No demonic outhouses, we'll say.
Right. Right. They're all fairly friendly outhouses.
Yeah, well ventilated.
Right. Okay.
Big moon on the door.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think that'll do it for me.
That's funny. All right. So, yeah, you guys keep going along the road?
Yeah. So let's keep going.
Time passes uneventfully. Are you all staying together, Nick? You had fallen back before, but you guys are all just walking.
I'm in my territory now.
Nice. All right.
I feel comfortable.
Feel good? All right.
You feel on top of your game?
Rather than walking down a cobblestone street towards a gigantic castle that I want nothing to do with.
This is a fairly well-traveled road, so there are still people, about, and it's near this town, and whatever, you perhaps would see, depending on your character's feelings, some mountain bluffs that would be interesting to explore, or some other places later. You may just without even trying start seeing like where animal pet tracks may cross where like a deer have worn a rut along the side of a hill, and goats may be living over. You know what I mean? You just can't help but take this kind of stuff in as you make your way. This is a place that is alive with wildlife, and
so just off the path is very wilderness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, there you pass a couple farms about halfway through the day, but they own a very large area, and they've definitely had to work as these hills are rolling, but they're very rocky, and so they've had to work hard to kind of establish like a tiered farming system, and irrigation. Yeah, exactly. Really kind of. You'd probably be impressed, that they're not dwarves, but they
are we getting into dwarven territory? Because I remember this town is a pretty good mix.
Yeah, not yet. No, this is all mostly humans and half elves.
I assume there's no distilleries this direction either.
No.
Not yet.
You realize at this unfortunate moment that the distilleries are most likely behind you.
Okay.
You should have packed your canteen well.
Right.
Who says he didn't?
I am proficient in brewer's supplies. That's what
he just sits down and starts
That's what you should have bought.
That's what I should have bought. Brewer's supplies.
So you start making your way north of town, and the day goes by. Do you guys? So you eventually come to your first intersection, and Divine sense it up.
Yep.
You are. Yeah, you do not sense anything. You come to the river is kind of cut a path probably like 40 feet below the small, very finely crafted stone bridge that goes across the gap. And I'm assuming you kind of, scamper down the hill and give it a sense, and you don't sense anything.
Okay. Well, I sense nothing here. I feel like we should follow the river back towards town. So I really feel like that would lead us to our getting rid of this stench.
But what time of the day is it?
It's about noon
by now. Okay.
I'm good for that.
I'll travel down the river. That's fine.
So from here on until we move off this, it'll all be difficult terrain. And that's more of a just takes twice as long to move through this terrain as it would the road. But so everybody make a athletics or dexterity check, whichever one's more beneficial to you.
Athletics.
What? That's sad.
14.
Okay. Jake?
You got a 1?
Yep, we got a 1. We'll deal with him in a second.
17.
So
you're the ranger.
I got a 7 with my 1.
So is this our first official actual critical fail on our podcast?
No, Matt rolled a 1 to get initiative in a fight.
Yeah. This is the first critical on a check of any kind.
I think that's
Yeah.
special. Take 2 hit points of damage as you twist your ankle and fall down.
I sense nothing. We shall skip majestically through the river. You're on top of it, Nick. Well, the dwarf paladin in chainmail with a shield seems to navigate just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes his way down. It's getting hot. It's getting warmer in the day, but it is late in the year. It's fall, so you're fairly comfortable. And you now got this cacophonous sound. The river is never narrower than 30 feet across, and it gets wider and slower, and then narrower and more, torrential. And you are down here next to it, so it's very difficult to hear things around you. Just something you'd be aware of, and you start making your way down. It's not long. Maybe half a mile downriver, you feel this foulness spike up like nothing. Like you're near the source of it.
Do I see any that go underground, the river?
Nope. It stays going south in front of you, and there are trees and shrubbery all around, and you seem to be sensing it that way on the east side of the river, perhaps in this little copse of trees.
Okay.
I'm going to notice that Matt's face changes to these senses and scurry up a tree. As I,
It does look as if I've smelled something putrid.
yes.
So any little he pauses and you just up a tree.
I'm just gonna
I do
climb
one
up
of
a
these.
tree.
Make a dexterity check to climb your tree.
Here.
Don't let him touch your face.
10.
16.
Okay, yeah, you're scrambling,
Okay.
no problem. And
Do I notice I'm scrambling up a tree?
yeah, absolutely.
He didn't do it
He limps his
stealthily.
way over to the tree.
Guys, I'm gonna look ahead. I'll be right back.
It's cool.
So I don't know.
take it it's a tree that's not in the foul area, or did he not know?
He's fine. No, it's not. It's not. He does not know, but he just took one right next to him.
Do you know which side of the river we're on? Are we
You're on the east side, and it's
okay.
on the east side. Yeah.
So as we're walking, I feel it on my left
Yeah. Yep.
direction.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to relay that to Jake, or my bard friend who's still around
Urith,
here.
yeah.
Urith.
Oh,
It's to the left. It's definitely east. I think we've reached a source, if not the source, of the foulness that I sensed in the river earlier.
To paint a feeling, Thornton, it feels as though you're watching someone pour brackish oil and bile over your mother. That's what it feels like inside of you when you sense that direction.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Something's very evil that direction.
Right. It is not an Applebee's.
It feels worse than when I sensed the demon thing holding the kid over the river.
No.
No, not that bad.
Nope, not that bad.
Okay.
That was like seeing the devil himself making sweet love to your mother.
When you put it that way, this is just
I
mild.
feel like the devil's love wouldn't be as sweet as you'd hope.
Yeah, sweet in quotation marks.
Kindly.
Kinky.
Did you see his comment about you?
Oh, jeez. Can't cross that.
Climb a tree. He's like the Tarzan of Rangers. It's all trees.
Yeah.
Trees and climbing.
As soon as there's rocks involved.
So what do you guys do?
Suddenly
Wolves don't climb trees. Just saying.
Suddenly the dwarf is all about the rocks in the river, but
Yeah.
all right.
I had to teach myself.
You were a lone wolf.
Do we I feel like poking my head towards that area. I'm fairly well rested. I've got, I'm uninjured.
Yeah.
I've learned a couple new spells. I can, maybe throw it.
Thornton starts reciting. He's like, "Here's my life story, and here's why I will approach
Right.
this."
I feel, yeah.
I'm gonna
Well, I
get
do
my,
have to somewhat convince these people, I
silver-tipped
think.
arrows out.
All right.
I really feel like, since I notice how foul it is, that I am actually convincing them more than I would if I were just like, hey, let's look over here.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're like
So,
kind of talking yourself
so
up
guys,
a little bit.
yeah. we're in good shape. We could go check this out and feel okay about it. Now, does the difficult terrain stop when we start entering the forest?
No, it's all difficult. It's all rocks that have stumbled down the hills, as the rivers cut its way through, and then shrubbery and stuff like that. You won't be sprinting anytime soon.
Nothing's awesome.
Nothing like whatever. But I mean, honestly, for your dwarven feet, custom, it's.
I can climb it fine, just not quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. I mean, nothing can climb it faster than you.
The rogue, or the ranger.
Exactly. So you go poke your way over there.
Totally screwed
as you get closer, make a perception check. Thornton.
Perception.
Yep.
Let's see how perceptive I am today. Perception is wisdom.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
22.
Natural 20.
Nat 20.
Nice.
What am I perceiving?
Well, you know that Liam has 7 speckles of sweat on his forehead. that there is a minor imperfection in the tip of the silver arrow that Ufret is wielding, and that there is labored breathing of some sort of unconscious and wounded thing up in front of you.
Okay.
It's rhythmic, so you know it's sleeping, and it's ragged, so you know that there's some sort of internal injury.
Does it sound large?
It sounds humanoid-sized.
Human-sized. Yeah. Okay. So, I have disadvantage to stealth because of my chainmail. Mm-hmm. That does not keep me from trying to be stealthy.
Absolutely, I like it.
So, I kind of do a hand signal of quiet and this way. So,
I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, he's sneaking his way up.
right,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to sneak up on the thing. Now, I roll 2 when I take the lower.
Okay.
That's
No, disadvantage.
disadvantage means you're.
Oh, yes,
2.
correct, right.
Yeah.
2 and take the
Roll two
lower.
and take
So
Right.
I would run stealth is dexterity, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Stealth is dex, so +1, and I have disadvantage. That's a 1.
Yay! So, much as though someone cannot smell their own smell, a dwarf cannot hear his own armor when he sneaks. And
So it's my feet are quiet, but my armor is clank.
yeah,
clank.
yeah. You're just like, well, you.
I forgot that my hammer's hitting my shield.
Yeah, your javelin is like Russia or whatever, exactly. And like, you're like, damn rocks and gosh, quiet guys back there, jeez. And you hear the echo of your own voice and you start yelling at yourself. But sure enough, you loudly make your way up there and have not awoken whatever it is.
During this trek, I have in
Wow.
fact gotten my mace out.
Sure.
My
Yeah.
warhammer. I
It
should
sounds like shing.
say.
And still not waking up.
Not only am I loud, but the light is shining off of the hammer onto whatever I'm sneaking.
Birds have taken off. Deer have started to stampede downriver, and you're still.
Do I see it yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You make your way all the way stealthily there, and you come across a large, unconscious, very beat up half orc woman, looking something like this.
She seems happy.
Yeah, she's had a rough day. Let's see if we can show.
Why do you keep nudging me?
Jake, can you? Let's see here, Jake. I'll give that to you.
There.
There we go. No, I'm missing it. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, Jake, if you would just turn to page...
No, he doesn't have the. Oh no, players. Yeah, 40, page 40 in the player's handbook.
Boom, that was easy.
Nice. Yeah, large.
For those playing along at home.
Greenish gray skin, pointy eared, couple teeth sticking up from her lower jaw, and she is raggedly breathing and resting there. And she has a couple like scrapes and cuts on her sides and middle, and she has a wound on her forehead that you can actually see the bone of her skull, though it's not cracked. Like in a flap of skin is hanging down, and
Okay.
she looks as though she's been tortured as well as being injured.
Against my better judgment, I may cast a spell.
Okay.
Because I have to help her.
Right.
That's my problem.
Right. You might have to hurry before Liam shoots her.
Right.
Don't worry about me.
I've already looked back and winked at him
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, Liam. As for like basic,
for whatever reason, I feel like he really needs to be hooked up.
you're just I like it.
Anything.
Ufret, are you staying back or are you following Thornton?
I'm following and I'm trying to be vigilant of everything else around.
Okay, very cool. And make a perception check.
Spellcasting ability modifiers.
And apparently I found a very lovely rock at my feet.
Coast is clear. And they've disappeared into the brush kind of up here. You know that they're not there, but you don't have a line of sight on them anymore.
But am I not able to follow tree to tree?
Sure. Make a dexterity check.
Okay. So,
13? Bad math.
You don't fall from the tree, but you decide that tree to tree does not work for you at this
I
point.
catch myself with the whip.
Yeah, just gotta like land and walk over there if you want.
okay. Now I'm just screwed up. What do you roll for a spell? Is it
Okay, that's a good question. It depends on
wisdom?
the spell.
Well, my spell says cure wounds. Creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Mm-hmm. Which is going to be your charisma modifier.
Is it charisma?
Plus, hold on a second, I had it right here.
Spellcasting feels like it would be like wisdom or intelligence. Right?
I know, and that's something that's a little less clear in this edition.
Your spellcasting ability is your charisma modifier straight up.
Okay, so it's just 2.
Is that for all spells and all ranges or classes?
That's your spellcasting ability. Once you've got a spell save DC, it's going to be whatever that number is, plus your what was it? Proficiency bonus plus I think 8. Well, it is for bards at least.
This is what it is for bards and paladins. I'm sure it's different for wizards and
charisma modifier.
Okay,
That's what I get.
Okay. So you're basically making a charisma check.
Well, it's not a check. This is how much I heal her for.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Automatically.
Yeah.
So it's 1d8. That's 8 plus 2. So what I do is I reach down. I touch her. Mm-hmm. It is verbal and somatic. So I touch her, and with my other hand, I draw the symbol of Ula.
Nice.
Mumble a few words and give her 7 health points.
Almost like the voice of a mountain from 100 miles away, deeply in the base of your brain, you hear, "Good choice, my son." And this magical energy pours out of you, and these wounds start to close up in front of you. Most notably, the wound on her forehead where the skin was flapping off. The skin actually dies and rots away and flakes off, and new skin forms, and a clean scar is now over this gap where her skull was exposed. And she wakes up, and with her deep, womanly, probably attractive to a half-orc voice, she's like, "What's going on?" And she's kind of freaked out.
And so I ask, who did this to you?
Charisma check.
Another. I'm not rolling the one that gave me a 1 before.
That's good. Just don't touch Liam's dice and you'll be fine.
I got 8.
8 total?
Total.
She just scrambles back again through the bushes. "Who are you? Get away!" Until she says.
So I tell her, I'm the one who just healed you. You seemed quite damaged.
She looks down and checks herself and starts to calm down and realizes, you can visibly see her realize that she's not injured anymore. And she's okay. She says, "Where am I?"
You are in the woods. You're north of town.
Which town? Agardos.
Agaros.
And who are you?
I am Thornton Brewforge, an adventurer and a paladin, and I have cured your wounds.
Okay, and who am I?
That I cannot tell you.
And she just kind of looks around, trying to get her bearings. You can keep questioning.
Can I in any way comfort her?
Sure.
Is that another charisma check?
You've already made the charisma check, but you try. And she does not get any more agitated.
It's not very comforting.
Yeah.
It's not discomforting, but it's not
right.
comforting.
Clunk, clunk. They're there. Yeah.
Right. As my weapons clang against each other.
Yeah, just
Yeah. I'm not setting down my hammer to comfort her.
Correct. Right. Or your shield or anything.
Right. Right. All right.
She, you guys will, Urth, are you just remaining silent and watching?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Okay. So you spend some very awkward moments trying to, ascertain anything from her, and she will start to relate to you the last thing she remembers.
Okay.
And as she says, I was running from the underground, from the cage. They had me in a cage, and an evil green ghoul was holding me there and doing horrible things, and I've come south.
South,
And,
okay.
She says the sun, was on whichever side would indicate that she was running south.
Was this morning or?
She says it was night, but I'm not sure which night.
So you ran south at night, but you know what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was. She says south in the evening. But she's not sure how many nights she was there. Right. Orcs can tell the direction maybe that night. But no, the sun was out. Yeah, it was evening, and she was running south, and she's been floating / crawling downriver throughout the night, and woke up here.
And we assume that the river flows from the
North
mountains.
to south. Yeah.
It flows downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So more or less north to south on this river.
Have I noticed anything with my divine sense, or is that pretty well over?
You absolutely no. Good question. So you are sensing that her injuries are fairly mundane, but something has been done to her soul that is deep and tragic and malevolent.
And I take it my cure wounds did not help that?
Your cure wounds did not help that, and as you are reaching out to it, she seems almost as injured as she was before you healed her, despite her wounds being better.
Just more functional?
Yeah, more physically functional. You actually sense that she may not have long left on this plane despite your healing.
Excellent.
Her, like her connection on reality, her life force is slowly slipping away.
Fantastic. Well, I level 2. I don't think I have any spells to help with that.
Sure. This is kind of like one of those DM spells that are really hard to counter.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything. I can speak Orcish, though. Is that helpful?
It might be comforting. You can speak to her in Orcish and try and get a little bit more information out of her.
So I begin to speak to her in Orcish.
Okay. Make another charisma check.
Yes. Better than average. 4. I don't speak Orcish well at the moment, it would appear.
She starts to weep and ramble incoherently about having so much left to do and not knowing she's forgetting something and I'm missing something. I don't know where to go. And kind of starts to almost have like a panic attack. She says, and she asks you, am I going to be okay in Orcish?
Yeah. I have a very optimistic opinion.
Yeah?
So, I kind of want to send her the direction of the town.
Yeah.
And tell her to go in and see that healer guy from my religion. Okay. And say, let's see, do I have anything good? No. Tell her to go see him and that I sent her and that sort of thing. Okay. I'm optimistic about her making it, but I also know that she may not make it down the path all the way. But this is probably her best chance. So it's much closer upstream to get to that. So I tell her,
go
follow the river up, take the path back down, go find the religious district and go talk to
the priest
the priest at the Ula corner.
Okay. You give her the directions and she says, okay.
And he will do his best.
Great. She gets up and brushes herself off a bit and starts to kind of she's not so much limp as teeter her way and kind of get her bearings back up and start making her way up there.
Is she more graceful than...
Oh, everyone's more graceful than Liam, yeah. And she makes her way north and she heads off. Okay. And maybe flittering across your memory, you hope that the priest of Ula does not experiment on her.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that
he's got a reputation.
He, will assume me telling him to help her is a good thing, and that he doesn't have unlimited divine sense.
Right. So,
does the evil leave with her?
So you look around where she was laying, and you realize that the late fall blooming of the on some of the bushes as they were kind of getting into that season, and some of the berries are actually kind of rotted in this immediate area where she was resting, and that the leaves she was laying on, the dead leaves, are all around in beautiful orange color, and the ones she was laying on are actually have wilted and
black.
Yeah, black, and just kind of even started to turn to dust. She carries some of it away from her. You have healed that, but you realize what was done was kind of within her. She actually appears to have been bleeding out into the river when which you've stopped the bleeding, and you can kind of feel that divine sense, or that foulness fade away as there's no more of her energy being done there. And yeah, the only other thing is that she was coming south.
All right.
You don't sense anything else.
So I assume by her going south, she at least knew that there might be a town that way.
Yeah. She definitely, if she follows the road south, she'll definitely hit town.
I am optimistic enough that she'll be fine.
Okay. Oh, she's all good. Yeah.
She'll be fine.
A-okay.
As long as she doesn't turn into a demon or a ghoul or something,
Right.
But I have faith.
Yes, gotta have faith.
As you already sent her into town.
I gave her an extra 6 health points.
You gave her a pamphlet
7
on
health
Ua
points. Right.
and said, hey, come on. So, okay, cool. So there you are, sitting on the river. Where do you guys go?
Well, I assume all of these guys heard everything.
Yeah.
I don't have to translate anything because I spoke Orcish terribly, by the looks of it.
No, you spoke Orcish fine. You just weren't very comforting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I was very uncharismatic.
What is our goal here as we came upstream, upriver to try to find where these demons came from? Where obviously that was unsuccessful, and we ran into this woman that needed help and ran away, and you no longer have any sense that there's anything evil up here. So I think we should head east towards those giants that the
Giants were north, right?
Wait.
So here's my
see where you're
proposition. The giants were north. The cave with the cages were north. Now, giants aren't known to be in caves, but do they hang out with, goblins? That were in the cave?
No. As far as
Wait.
they're not typically associated. What?
What is so that the filth and whatnot in the river was originating from her, right?
Right.
That's what we were feeling all the way up here.
Yeah.
Why are we sending her back to town unescorted?
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Guess that's a good point.
She's out of sight and gone now.
She's that far gone?
She's scampered up. You healed her pretty well.
It's that hard for the rest of us to catch up.
No,
with her.
absolutely. You
I
can
don't know
absolutely
about
run and
the
catch up with
ranger.
her if you want.
Do you feel like we should catch up with her and take her back to town and maybe learn more about what was done to her from my priest friend?
That might be a good option as well.
And then perhaps if he can help her recover her memories, we can figure out what these caves and cages were and maybe figure out if it was giant related.
Possibly. I will say, we sent her back upriver to get back to the
Downriver, yeah.
to the road.
Right.
The closest passing.
It was obviously too late after the fact when I remembered that this was a thing. But this time around, I have the natural explorer trait, which gives me the ability that me and my group, difficult terrain does not slow us down at all. So we could go downriver and catch her before she gets back to town.
Yeah, you guys
Could we cut straight across?
Sure, you guys are heroes. It'll be quickest to go that way and make it.
So
a 1 is still a 1.
A 1 is still a 1,
but that is fantastic though. So
difficult terrain doesn't slow your group travel.
You had perhaps
your group
spent too
can't
many days in
become-
town, and you are just now getting the rhythm of the wilderness back under your feet as you.
So he gives us all a little pep talk about how to walk in the forest,
Yeah.
and suddenly we're all graceful.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I love
Basically, yep. Just all very Legolas-y and still loud and clunky, but yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, are you pursuing her?
I'd like to go back and try to intersect the road
Yeah.
and catch up with her.
Okay. You we will sum up. You scramble your way up the hill and kind of make your way back down and onto the road on the east, and you start heading south. You guys are kind of going at a good clip, and you actually start like one or two people coming north who are like kind of like nervously glancing behind them, and then keep moving forward. Assuming you guys are in a hurry, you guys travel for about 5 or 10 more minutes and come to a gaggle of people that are around, and she is face down dead on the road.
All right.
What have you done?
I healed her.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe this guy anymore.
Her creator decided it was time.
He gave me a
I'm going to
sandwich,
start
but I don't know
asking
if I
the
trust this
people
guy
what
anymore.
happened.
That was a good
What was that?
I'm going to start asking the people what happened. 'Cause
Sure.
I don't trust either one of these guys to be able to do so.
Very cool. Why don't you make a
Don't trust
charisma
me.
check?
Then again,
New dice.
What is going on with you
13.
guys today?
Yes, there we go.
What did you roll the first
A
time?
13.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you ask quickly, and somebody's like, I just came across you like this, and then another farmer's like, I don't know, one less orc's another is good. Any dead orc's a good orc, whatever. He can't talk very well. He didn't go to public school.
His charisma's really low.
His charisma's phenomenally low. He rolled like Nick. But no, you get a couple related. Then one of them says that he doesn't know what happened, but he knows her. That her name is Maev, and she has a farm on the south side of town, and her child had gone missing. Her child had gone missing some time ago, and that someone should bring word to her husband that she's passed.
Is she still feeling evil?
No, she feels nothing.
All right. Well, I want to take her body to her husband.
Okay.
That is the thing I want to do.
That's the thing. Everybody accompany him. It's going to probably take the rest of the day.
I want to paint an image in everyone's mind.
Very cool.
Thordan, shield on back. He's got his hammer in his waist, covered in chainmail. Is fireman carrying a female orc that is considerably taller than him down this path.
No one has the heart to tell you that her hands actually drag on the ground behind you, but you, from the front, feel very
Her
heroic.
feet are just off the ground.
Yeah,
in
just
my
off the front.
opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta be on the knees, and you absolutely do so as heroically as possible.
I don't need to check strength or anything.
No, you're carrying Maev down the way, and you guys, he I assume just takes off and allows you guys to follow. You guys are gonna go with him, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of the day plays out as thus. You make your way south around Agrados. You gather quite a few looks. Make a wisdom check.
Wisdom?
Yep, Thordan.
Just Thordan.
Yeah, just Thordan.
Let's see. Is it a saving throw or just a check?
Just roll a check plus your wisdom modifier.
14 total.
You do think that as you get towards the... Because she lives south of town. As you pass down... right past the religious district, that you could stop in and see your friend, because you had talked about investigating what had happened to her.
Yeah.
So do you choose
Yeah,
to do
let's swing through and see if he can maybe divine anything else about her passing.
Absolutely. You bring her in. The acolyte boy is much more calmed down, though he's still red around the eyes. And he says, absolutely, my son, bring her this way. And he says, oh, I've seen her. I don't know her name, but I've seen her about town over the years. He says, very unfortunate. She was very often persecuted for her lineage, but it seemed to be a good soul. And he just kind of starts rambling about pumpkins and squashes and stuff like that, which doesn't necessarily piece together for you. But he sees to her, and he actually expends a considerable amount of time and materials casting some sort of ritual that you have not seen. This is something that is reminiscent to when you were in your training at your whatever citadel that you learned your training. Quite an intense bit of work, and he about 15 minutes later, he turns around, sweat on his brow. He dabs it away with the cloth, and he's like, what was done to her is an abomination. Something was toying with her soul, with her spirit, and it was being done. And he starts pointing out places where they were like injecting various metals and bones and needles and things, and the scars that are left behind are still very clear.
All the things I healed earlier.
Yeah, exactly. But you could, the wounds, right? The shape of the scars is still indicative of where it was done, and it seemed to be things were like kind of like they were toying with her brain and her
Very not surgical.
very well, almost like lackadaisical, and they were having fun doing it.
Okay. Very much like what this guy was doing to that ghoul that I brought.
Do you mention that? Do you mention that?
I'll ask.
Okay,
If it's somewhat similar.
that gives him pause. He's like, perhaps not that different than what I was doing. Very astute observation, Missing.
Obviously from an evil intent, though.
Of course, yes. Where I was trying to relieve the creature's pain.
Through more pain.
Exactly.
Well, more pain didn't work.
Yeah. Let's try more pain.
You know.
So he relays that to you, and says that after you return the body, he may have something to help you find the source of what was done to her.
Okay. So he doesn't need the body anymore?
Nope.
He's all set with it?
Yep.
All right, let's take it. Take it down to the farm.
Does he have a donkey or a cart or something?
No.
I've been perfectly comfortable.
You
carrying
have
it.
a dwarf.
Right.
I'm just thinking the presentation of this to her husband may not go over so well.
I'm a hero being heroic.
Good for you.
But do you want to? Maybe they've got a fruit cart out front of their farm that we
Yeah,
can quickly
we'll let you
borrow.
pull the cart. How's that?
Okay, absolutely. You guys are able to procure a cart after a few minutes, a hand cart for carrying, vegetables and stuff like that, and at least lay her in a slightly more dignified way.
And I do arrange her as pleasingly as possible.
Absolutely, sure.
For mourning purposes.
Yeah, and perhaps, this is a time, Thornton, as you clean her off, that you realize, like, the diversity of life, and you wonder maybe how far out the word of Ula has reached, and how far you may be able to spread it to this poor, creatures like this. And she is now, cleaned off, and there she is. And you take her home.
I'm gonna do a step better than that.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna break out my disguise kit.
Okay.
And freshen her up with some makeup.
Oh, fantastic!
I love it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you make a check, man. That's awesome. You beauty her up, a little rouge, a little whatever, and she looks ready to, like, she could perform on any stage, despite her. You even stitch up some of her clothes and patch things up a little bit, and
secretly an undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah. What's his name? Liam. That's it.
That's me.
Would you go grab some flowers as we're on our way? See if you can find some
If anybody can find
wildflowers
flowers.
or something. Yeah.
I'll do my best to look.
Perception check, just for fun, because I only do
Can you
these.
do a little better than your best?
Yeah, there we go. You find some nice you find some wildflowers and procure a bouquet of fragrant, non-allergenic flowers.
Non-allergenic. That's
There we
important.
Yep. You never know. Okay, so you guys make your way south of town, and you're told to go this way, go that way, and perhaps near dinner time, it's quite a haul. You're feeling very exhausted from trekking with this body. You make your way down, and you come to a farm that, as the sun is starting to kind of head down lower in the sky.
It was in the way.
Oh yeah, go lower in the sky. There's a farm here, and there is a man outside, a human, maybe of like average height, maybe 5'6", little.
Not quite as tall as Liam here.
Right, not quite. No one's as tall as Liam, and he's working.
Damn right.
He's working the field, and he immediately notices you guys coming. He stands there for a few moments, and then comes running out and starts weeping over Maeve in the barrel.
And I explained to him the situation in which we found her. That I'd approached her and healed her, and something still didn't feel right, so we brought her. I don't explain that I sent her on her way, and then we found her.
Right. Yeah. Just the high points. Yep.
The
just
high
good
points.
Yep.
And that we took her to a priest, and the priest did what he could, and it was already too late, so brought her here so that he could have closure.
He basically almost immediately kind of seems to go into shock, into a recess thing. He conveys to you that some time ago their child was taken, that they did everything they could to find it, that not only was that evil, not that no justice was found for their child, but now Mayev was driven almost mad and journeyed north into the mountains to find what she could find, and left in the middle of the night. And he hadn't even had much time to decide whether or not to go chase her or stay where he was and see to their farm, wait for their boy to return. And he just kind of rambles on a very monotone, kind of numb way, and says that thank you for bringing her home. He'll see to her next to the marker that they put out for their boy behind their house.
And I assume they never found their boy. Okay. Well, I'm going to explain to him that we are actively seeking the evil that has been disappearing children. I don't mention anything about the mayor.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's necessary. And let him know that we're looking for it, and certainly if we come across any half-orcs, we will let him know.
Quarter orcs, he corrects.
Quarter orcs.
No, absolutely.
And I give him a potato look.
Yeah, I know. Just like, yeah, absolutely. He basically just gives you a nod and says, "I will wait to hear word from you," and then takes the cart and the woman out back.
All right, I'm feeling good. Let's go back. Have a good
Happy
night's
day,
sleep.
cheaper
Right.
day.
Let's go. I'd like to go back to the Slotted Eel Inn and get some dinner. That sandwich I bought for you.
Oh yeah,
It was really
We got to
good.
say hi to what's his face?
Yeah, what's his name?
I got it. Hold on.
Sherman.
Sherman.
Guys walk in. Sherman. He's like,
No.
guys,
He's, with the stuff.
with the things and the murder in my street. How you doing? And Sherman says, "Hey guys, how's it going? What you
Now,
been up to?"
do I need to ask for a breer? Is it?
Nope, it's already there.
Okay.
Yeah, almost preternatural. Almost as though he
I
knew.
walk up to a frosty beer.
You literally crack the door and hear clunk, and and there it is, frothing and ready for you.
No sooner do I clank my way through the doorway.
Yep. But then a very precise clank is heard in front of you.
Yep. So, okay. Well, I would like to order some food
Okay.
for myself.
Yeah.
Y'all are on your own.
Okay. Do you guys? I mean, if you guys either buy food or will knock off a ration from your packs as the day is kind of coming to a close, and assuming you eat.
Am I spending money on the food?
I'll buy food.
What does it cost me?
I think it's like what is it? Let's say like a silver piece to eat.
Silver
very
piece.
well.
Okay. So
I'm gonna do some singing for my food.
Okay.
I love it.
You push. There's a man on stage, kind of doing bad medieval karaoke of one of Dietrich's greatest hits,
100.
and you
hundreds?
push him. You push him out of the way. Do you have a performance check or something like that?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you let us know how well you regale the nightlife here?
Performance check. Ladies.
There we go. 14, that was
I see
6,
what
so
you
we
did
got 20 not natural.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, you. Is this the first time you guys have heard the wonderful Ufret perform? Thornton and Liam.
No, because I played the.
He was performing
You
when
played
we got
Crazy
in.
Train.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
played
The
Crazy
battle.
Train.
The battle.
Right.
thing.
Yep.
That is different, but because that is but absolutely you start regaling them of whatever tales or songs or whatever you wish to spend, and you actually start bringing in people off the street with your performance.
Sweet.
Yep, and you will absolutely receive whatever meal and food you want, and
Does he get a slightly better meal than last time?
he gets a slightly better meal than you get.
What?
Yeah, it's amazing. Liam's still on his
But
own.
way worse than him.
Yeah, nothing is against them. Liam.
I'm gonna take my plate of food and go sit in the corner by myself,
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
away from these two.
From these two,
Sweet and
yahoos.
salt, yeah.
I am going to ask the bartender, since he seems like the kind of guy that might know. Has he heard of any more children going missing lately?
In the last 2 days?
Yeah.
No.
I like it.
He says that there has already been word going around town that 3 folks like you went down and were involved in some sort of altercation. At the bridge there was blood and ichor and bodies found near that area and downstream.
Hey, we didn't really clean up, did we?
No, and so there are people arriving from downriver, like from as far as like half a day away, that have seen strange things floating in the river, and that's all about town. But it sounds like something bad has been eradicated. Yeah, the priest of Ula has actually been using this tale as a demonstration of might and wisdom that Ula can grant and safety, and to try to use.
So he's recruiting.
He's recruiting. He's
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm actually okay with that.
Sure. Yeah. Who wouldn't be? And
Right.
Yeah. And yeah. Exactly. So
Okay. I'm good. Well, let me see.
Urith does not hear all this because he's up rocking out, but that's okay.
And neither does.
Neither do I.
Neither does he.
I am bathing in the attention of my adoring fans.
Yeah, they are totally loving it, man. Like,
You've got a rose light on you. You look fabulous.
are you
Oh, that's right.
what?
Found out Prestidigitation also does background music.
Really?
Oh,
I am
dude,
Prestidigitation in it as well.
That is very awesome.
Do you need to roll for that, or is it
Heck
just?
no, he doesn't need to roll.
No, that's instantaneous
Yep,
on that one.
like a cock and balls in the face, he can cast the background music too. Very cool. Yeah, you were just bringing it out. It is something to behold. Are you regaling them with stories of love or happiness, or the tales so far of your adventures, or what are you letting them? What are you going on about?
Tales so far of the adventures, and then stories of love.
Okay, very cool. So you actually have incited quite a lot of conversation about, because like everything that you guys are doing is very relevant, right? Like the fight on the bridge and the hunt for the missing children, and you guys are, even you in the corner are aware that almost like a brush fire, the words of Urith are inciting almost a sense of action amongst the people in the crowd, and they're talking actively and almost kind of it's this post-trauma moment that this crowd is having, where they're sharing, oh, my cousin's a kid went missing, and oh, I heard so-and-so's the farmer has been missing, and blah blah blah, and they're quite banded together from the melodic storytelling of Urith.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I am raising a glass to his tune.
Very cool. Very cool.
I also make sure to mention the priest
Oh, really?
and the whatchamacallit.
I really wish I named him, but like,
Acolyte?
the priest of
and the
Ula,
what?
but yeah, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah, stock in Ula is going up like mad. But very
He's
cool.
going to have more than a corner stall pretty soon.
Yeah, love to see. So there you guys are. The night passes uneventfully. Otherwise, you guys are able to interact or ask anything of the people in the bar that you want to. Otherwise, if you're otherwise just resting and gearing up, what's your guys' plan after you leave the bar?
Now, what time is it? I assume we
It's
got there at
evening.
dinner.
Yeah. It's like sun is going to be set when you get out.
Do you want to head back to our little abode and yeah, there you go. Name him Bassmaster.
Yeah.
Bassmaster, the
priest
the
of
fair priest,
Ula.
Bassmaster,
Ula.
Bassmaster that is being written down.
All right, we're on it.
Bassmaster, known for fishing and teaching those how to fish.
Perfect.
With the wisdom of Ula.
I like
I
that.
love it. Yeah, I say we just go back. We spend the night, and then the next day, I really feel like we should report to the mayor. Let him know that A, we killed the evil in town, and B, it's not over. There's stuff out of town that I'm concerned we'll bring it back.
Okay, so you're gonna go tomorrow, the next day,
Tomorrow morning.
and do that. Okay, you guys rest and do that, and let's take a break
Okay.
to figure out what we're gonna do for food.
Yep.
And I'm gonna need a bio break, but we will be back in 5 or 10. Yeah, just like 5 or 10 minutes to continue our story and see if these guys can make it farther out of town than the first bridge.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll be back with you soon.
So Bassmaster, we're back.
But we go to 11.
We've ordered
No,
pizza,
it's
so
weird.
there will be another break when the pizza comes. Sorry.
Okay, guys, so you were making your way back to the mayor's residence.
I'm not.
The next morning. You're staying behind?
I'm going to climb the same tree I climbed the first time and watch through the window.
But do I notice him this time?
Oh, funny. Yeah.
I'm going to inform these two
I will be up there.
I will be in the tree. I don't trust going in that place. I
I-
don't want anything to do with that building.
I turn to him and I say, that's fair. You realize you cannot see anything that happens from that tree.
I did last time.
He didn't see anything, did
What did
he?
you see? You saw like people hanging out.
I couldn't see what you were saying, but I could see through the window to you guys in like the grand hall or whatever.
I thought he
it was.
didn't see anything.
Yeah, I think that as you guys wound deeper in, he couldn't. But
Yeah, I lost track of
So,
you guys, but
Liam-
I saw where you
Liam-
guys were. Hey,
Liam felt that this was no other tree has proven to be more advantageous of a lookout than this tree. For
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You're good.
Liam does what Liam wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thornton and
So,
Ufret.
yeah, I go up to the guard that's at the main entrance.
Yep.
And I let him know. This looks terrible.
Listen.
Don't type like that. That's very strange. Stop it. Oh my god.
We're so derailed.
You guys, you go up to the main guard at the
I go up to the main guard and I let him know that we have business with the mayor. Mm-hmm. We have some news for him and we need to discuss our job.
Okay. He has been told to keep an eye out for you guys, and was told that there would be two of you. So sure enough, there are. And he escorts you in. Again, you are led through the couple multi-floored residence of the mayor, and up the stairs, down the hall of delegates and merchants who are all busily going about their day early in the morning, taking visitors and doing whatever, and then led back to the mayor's office where you are shown in, and a few minutes later he arrives from a side door.
Okay. Excellent. Are you
The Brendan, his bodyguard, is also with him.
okay? Well, you asked us to investigate the children who've gone missing.
Yes, of course. Tell me, what kind of successes have you had? I've heard of some sort of altercation at the south of town.
We did 2 nights ago discover a number of evil things
Very well.
around the river to the south.
Mm-hmm. I trust you were more than capable of handling whatever you faced.
We did kill all of the things that we faced.
Very well.
Apologize for not cleaning them up, but it seems to have really helped with the morale of the town to see some dead evil things around.
You see, that makes sense. Yeah.
To complicate things, I followed a sense of evil upriver. There we found the dead orc female,
Yep.
dying orc female, who had been experimented upon and whose soul was
Experimented upon, really.
in very bad shape.
Huh.
By the stories from her husband, whom we returned the body to, and the little bit of information she could relay to us, there's another source of evil further into the woods.
Into the hills.
Into the hills. Yeah.
It says, really, in which direction?
To the north.
Very well. Perception check, Urith and Thornton. No.
11. Which is worse than my passive perception.
That's good.
Jake, are you muted?
There we go. 13.
13. All right. Yeah. I mean, he's very concerned about this, and Brendan, seems to be doing mental arithmetic and trying to, because he's the leader of the guard, the town guard, and says, Brendan actually asks you what you guys plan to do. He says,
Well, I would like to head north and try to find what was described to us as a cave full of caged people that have been experimented upon. And it was not a child that we found experimented upon. It was an adult. I think if you want to get rid of the problem.
he says, wait, a half-orc woman you say? He said, what was her name? Maeve. He says, I remember Maeve. He said, she was in here very frantically looking for her poor lost child. He's like, she raised quite a ruckus. Brendan, you remember, you talked with her. He's like, yeah. He's like, Brendan, just relates that he absolutely took what she had, her statement, and has investigated. He said, Brendan expresses his regrets that he would love to actually go with you himself or send some of the guard, but the town is a bit of an uproar right now with what's been going on, so he has no men to spare, but he wishes you the best of luck. He said you'll be heading north. He's like, he says, perhaps, he says, stay on the road. He says, if you go towards, about a day north, he says, you'll come to the mayoral cabin, and he kind of gives you some directions. He's like, be here, here, here. He's like, you could stop in there for a rest if things are, if you need.
Now,
He says, just tell them I sent you and which business you're on, and they'll let you go.
And I'm guessing it's the same arrangement that we had in the house we're staying in town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Food and drink and-
free sure you ask. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, sure, of course. Yeah.
Okay. What was our original barter for pay?
God, what was it? It was.
You remember, Jake? What we bartered for
It
pay?
was 12 per day? 8 or 12.
I think it was 12 gold pieces per person.
Yeah, and it did.
Not that I was there to hear that.
No, right, but and he did actually include a third person in the party should they need it. Yeah. So do you want to cash in right now?
I explained to him that I would feel better if we had some maybe additional supplies for a trek out of the town.
Sure.
And not that we're asking for him to buy it.
No.
But we would like some
No,
of the
he
finances.
absolutely he will pay you for the 2 days so far, and so he gives you Thornton 24 gold pieces, and says that you can go down to the kitchen and down to the tack, or the where the horses are kept, and get whatever supplies you may need, and that'll be deducted from your future payment. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
rations
so
or whatever.
it's like the company store?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah, just like, whatever, some...
Now, okay. All right.
Do you have any other questions or concerns for him?
I'm going to ask him when the last time he was at the mayoral cabin was.
Yeah, he says he doesn't go hunting there and as often as he wishes anymore, that it was last fall that he was last there hunting elk for just a very brief amount of time.
Is it occupied when you're not there?
Yeah, he says no. He says that he has people there year round. Well, yes, he has a couple guards there year round just to keep it from being vandalized or by unhappy voters and various things like that. But so there are people there. They're
Okay.
people, but it's not occupied with anyone other than servants and help.
Okay, but it's not just completely empty
Right.
all the time.
Right.
All right. I think I'm good. I'm ready to head back out with our purse of extra gold.
Okay.
Do we want to stop at the company store? I'll call it, and go there.
Ruth, do you want to stop at the just fill up on rations or anything? Or are you good?
Yeah, we could do that. Also, I'm going to see if... is there any stationery with the office's seal on it here?
The seal is done with wax, a signet that the mayor wears and that his notary wears, and so there's just regular parchment.
Okay, never mind then.
So there you
Do
guys
we
are.
want to ask for some kind of a letter for being in the mayoral cabin?
Okay.
We probably should, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys.
I'd like to get a signed and stamped
Yeah, he
letter of,
cranks one out for you. Fred, let these guys in.
yeah.
Bart. Yep.
Right.
Drips some yellow wax onto it and
Right.
presses his ring into it, and smell of wax wafts through the air. Pours a little bit on himself.
It's scented wax. It's the first time I've seen someone stamp with scented wax, but nice touch.
Yeah, right. Smells like success.
I suppose that's an extra security measure.
Yeah, exactly. Like a watermark. So there you are with that. Anything else?
No, I'm ready to go back out and meet up with Liam.
Okay, Ruth, you're all set with the mayor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys proceed to head out. As you got in an alternate dimension, Liam, perception check.
14.
Better roll.
16.
So you're sitting there in your tree, and a few people do eventually notice you because it's daytime, and there are some constabularies and.
Didn't you say it was kind of fallish up in the trees?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's he's a merchant, or some merchants and stuff kind of like look at you, but don't question what you're doing. And with the guard who let you guys through the gate, is kind of keeping an eye on you, so you notice all that. And as you've been sitting there, and you are up high enough, you are probably on level with the roof of the second story. It's a big, nice maple tree, and out the north side of the mayoral compound, you can actually kind of see over the top, and you can see the wall that makes up the back side of the compound, and the hills. You can actually see the house where you guys are staying. You can kind of make out the top side of the roof up to the northwest, and to the northeast side of the compound, you see 3 riders on horses in the black of the town guard go riding out of town, north and east.
Following the track
Head
path.
towards the road, yeah.
Following the same road that we took earlier.
Yep. And it's just, you notice this as much as you notice any of these other things around you. But that's what you see. So you guys are dismissed from the mayor. You're escorted back out. Brendan leaves, and they have a clerk, make sure you guys find your way back out of the, super busy big city mayoral compound, and you guys are escorted out and can do whatever you want.
Right, so I take it I've caught back up with...
Yeah, he's outside.
All right, well, I'm going to give Liam and Urith their share.
Okay.
The 24 gold pieces. Which
8
each.
8 each. I was doing it just ahead of time. So you've all received 8 gold pieces then.
And I'm at 8, so that makes it 23. All right.
What is the level? It's 900 for level 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask these guys if they feel like going either... Essentially, since my my friend Urith here is such a good barterer, I'm going to get his feeling on whether he thinks going to the company store is going to get us a good deal, or if we'd be better out on the streets.
Good question. Should I roll a perception on that one, or?
What do you...
Oh, I was going to type Bassmaster, but I'm on the wrong keyboard. This is a fairly normal kind of deal. Urith, as someone who plays and barters for his existence, he's just offering to get, like, if you guys decide to take a horse or something like that, he's gonna have to deduct that steep cost, and so he's just making sure that But I mean, it'd be nothing for you guys to stack up on bread and a few provisions if you needed some rope.
Couple days rations.
Yeah,
okay.
just whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
stuff, yeah.
But he can't just be like, help yourself to everything, and then you clear him out of parchment.
So we've got his seal on there.
Yeah.
I really want to see if there's a way I can get an imprint of it.
Okay. Very interesting.
Are you doing that in front of me or behind my back?
Behind your back.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of tools or device or proficiency in anything that would help you do that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Forgery would probably be the best one. The disguise thing, I don't know, could be twisted in it. You could obviously visit a thieves guild and try and have something procured lickety split. No coughing.
That's might just stop by the Thieves Guild on that one.
Okay, are you gonna do that Are you gonna do that before you guys head out of town, or are you gonna do that later?
We'll probably need to, because they're probably going to break it by the time they get up to
Sure.
The other place.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, do they have not silly putty, but something soft and malleable like that?
Sure. Make a intelligence check. So typically, guys,
Natural 20.
fantastic. The way I like to run D&D is that your characters are going to be better and worse than you at certain things. So, like, maybe Jake doesn't know how to orate and entertain a whole room full of people, but his character does, right? And so there are things that if you want to, are like, I don't know what it would be, but my character does. Like, it's on me to try and justify it, but, like, if you make a check just like Jake did, you know, so absolutely. So, Jake, you're going, oh, man, I could get some potter's clay, I could get some XYZ putty, I could get some blah, 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 and you think of actually a few things that you think you could procure right in the market to make yourself a nice inverted cast of this.
Perfect. Then I would prefer to do it that way then.
Perfect. It costs
instead
you...
of involving them.
Yeah, it's like somebody's like, what? Sure, you want some of my leftover slip from my pottery place? Sure, and he's like, for like a copper, you get like more than enough. You're, boom, do it, and you've got an inverted thing of it. And you're even able to do it discreetly.
Without me noticing.
Awesome.
Without
Is
you
there
noticing.
residue on this piece of paper now?
Nope, he was that good with his
He was
20.
that good?
With his 20.
All right. All right.
Otherwise, I'd press
I don't
vegetation
notice.
it off.
Yeah. However, while he's been so sneaky, Matt, make a wisdom check.
Oh, God. Okay, good. I'm with it. It's not intelligence.
It's not intelligence, wisdom.
Yeah, that's 8.
You don't know what you don't know.
I don't know what's
I don't know
happening.
what you don't know. I feel like you forgot something, but it just came dancing at the edge of your brain.
Fantastic.
Okay, so there you guys are. You've got, you're all set. You know, Uruth ran off and did a couple errands and got all stocked up. Did you guys stock up on anything from the mayor's thing? It's not a really game-stopping detail.
So what?
Yeah, I think that more
What
trail
exactly
rations.
are we
Just mark down
stocking up
whatever
for,
you took
guys?
down. What was that?
I'm asking what we're actually stocking up for.
Oh,
We're going to go north into the woods, see if we can't find some evil.
Is there any reason why we're going north?
Because the evil that captured the kids and the lady is north.
Is this something that the mayor told us that we need to do?
No, it's
I'm
something.
pretty sure it's giants.
Is that a deception check? What just
That
happened?
would be.
to recap, you guys have stocked up on like, I don't know, whatever rations you guys feel like you wanted to, any little bow or arrow, whatever else you wanted. And he conveyed to you that you're traveling north of town to stop that. And Urith has told you that it absolutely has something to do with giants.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Is that
Charisma check Urith and perception check Nick.
Oh, I'm totally gonna win this.
Jeez. Yeah, that's not so great.
I did not win this.
Urith,
That would be 16.
Yeah, nope.
Urith is just a beaming light of truth and beacon in this world of insecurity and understand.
I mean, it would make
Liam is
sense.
immediately distracted by birds.
It would
Tree to climb.
It would make sense that we're being sent after giants, which is why the mayor already sent 3 guards on horseback that way.
Is that what you convey to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, we may not need this letter after all if there's 3 guards heading up to his cabin already.
Dun dun dun.
What cabin? I thought there was giants.
We'd be
there's-
stopping at.
There's a cabin that we can not rest in trees.
But I like my tree.
Well, it's
There's trees around
You're
the cabin.
welcome. I'm sure
actually
there are
a
better
cabin
ones
is
out there.
often trees knocked down and built up, and then you are like
Right.
in a big.
It will be made of wood.
I don't know if I believe you.
I believe the DM. The DM is misleading you.
I don't know. You said you're going to kill me, so don't trust anything you say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Perception checks every minute to see the DM is lying.
Right.
All right, you guys make your way out of town, heading north.
12.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Yeah. Minus 1.
Minus 12. No, that's good. You do, yeah. No, you're, yeah, absolutely. What do you say to him? Yeah, you're articulate enough.
You're full of shit. I will shoot you in the face.